exclusivity can mean a lot of things. It can be about the love between a man and a woman, and
or the love between a
man and a piece
giant
of plastic.
giant man in a super suit in love with a robotic AI girl. Or it could be about a guy getting hit in the head with a golf club. You know what I mean?
Shit.
It comes in different packages.
I was like, where are you going with? I was like, you said big guy. I thought you were talking about gamers for a second. I was like, now I know what you mean.
I'm like 120
Halo.
pounds. Like, I'm not a big gamer. Generalization. Duh.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a pretty big gamer. I mean, whopping 400, Peter Griffin body style.
Fortnite Peter Griffin. Come on now. Give me a break.
That's not exclusive. We're talking exclusives here.
Yeah.
That's the topic of today. So only exclusive talks.
Okay, my bad.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna get this information.
You talk one more game that's not an exclusive, you're getting grounded.
In our opinion.
Or wait a minute, that's not exclusive anymore.
On the PopCorner podcast. Hello, everyone.
I'm cooking.
He's cooked. Is what he is. He's gonna get shot after this episode. I'm gonna take him out back. My name is Coleman. This is Draven.
Yep.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I mean, I got to work tomorrow, so that's depressing, but so do you, so I can't complain. We're both just going to... Are you sure you're not going to shoot yourself afterwards? After you shoot me?
I deep throat the gun a little bit further every time.
Just like his toothbrush.
Yeah. Anyway. I'm having a rough day, guys. So...
Yeah, we played board games.
Yeah, we played a lot. All this Xbox news, who cares? I don't... I mean, I think it's interesting stuff. I think there's cool stuff to talk about with that and everything, and we will. But I need to highlight the night I've been having. So first off, I see there's a new Godzilla movie coming out. I'm really excited to share this joy with one of my best friends here. And I'm like, hey, look. First off, I want to preface, these new movies are not the best thing in the world, but if that means that modern audiences get to watch and love and respect Godzilla as much as I already did, that's cool. I love that. And guess what? They're dumb. Turn your mind off and just have fun. Good-looking movies. I think they look good.
They do. Listen.
They look good.
They look good as far as the money that they put into them.
Yeah, they look great.
But why?
But okay. And my hopes for this podcast in the foreseeable future was, hey, in March, there's a new Godzilla movie coming out, and there's only technically 4 to catch up on. Why not? Maybe we'll do one a week or something, catch up, and then see the new one, right? That'd be a good idea. He said, that's dumb. That looks dumb.
Monkey.
He said, Winton.
That did say that watching the trailer.
Winton, yes. So,
and my gosh. I mean, listen,
say what you will about Godzilla and these new movies. I think they've really embraced the craziness, the insanity, and quite frankly, the Japanese, just crazy nature of these things. And, I love them. I love these new movies for what they are. I think some of them have a little bit of a drag to them at times. They're a little too long. And I would definitely have critiques if we watched them. Unfortunately, you'll never get to hear those critiques. Because I am a minority.
I got 2 against 1, brother.
I am a minority if you think about it.
Are you?
I'm one of the most... I'm a white male. I'm one of the most oppressed people in America.
There goes our YouTube already.
Didn't you know... According to anyone ever? That's true, huh?
I don't know. Do people say that?
Idiots do say that.
Okay.
Idiots do say that.
Listen, despite whatever you say here with this Godzilla movie, the Godzilla is going to be in it for 2 minutes.
There's a line in one of the movies where somebody says, "Oh my God," and then the dad from Get Out says, "Zilla."
Yeah,
you have to watch these movies, dude. They're so good.
Never. Anyway, forget the Godzilla franchise. We gotta gear up with one movie and one movie only, because I'm pretty sure next month is Blood and Honey 2, and that is quality film. So, sorry, bro.
Why don't we make Winnie the Pooh and Godzilla fight and see who wins?
Winnie the Pooh's got bees.
I just can't even hear this guy anymore.
All right. Let's hear about the rest of your night. You know?
Okay, yeah, the rest of my night. So I promise we'll keep this quick as it can be. So we retire after having some dinner, and what do? We go and get some food. We have dinner. It's nice. It's fun.
Took them 20 minutes to figure out where we were going, by the way.
Yeah, so that was great. I love that. And then we sit down. We play some board games. We play 2 games of Clue. I get both games stolen right out from underneath me. I had the answer. I just had to get to the center, and guess what? Somebody holds on to a freaking teleport or some dumb shit or whatever. Everybody's conspiring against me. So there's 2 points lost right there. And then they're like, I'm like podcast ready at this point. I'm like, it's getting kind of late. Do a little podcast. And they're like, no, let's play Candyland. I'm just like, all right, you fucking toddlers. I'll school you guys at Candyland because I didn't really know how it played. Come to find out, it's a game of fucking chance all the time.
It is.
And we played like 5 games.
6.
We played
because me and Tor, we both had 3 and 3.
We played 6 games of Candyland.
Played 6 games.
And motherfuckers, I did not win one of them.
We went 3 and 3.
And you guys each won a game of Clue.
Yep, you won nothing, and we won 4 each. We're cooking.
So now, to catch you up to speed, we get to now, and this big planned episode I have, this Xbox episode, where we're going to talk about how Xbox is going to die and how you should jump ship and probably just lay down and cry and die or something, is not true, and it's fine. There's no big deal. Xbox is fine.
Yeah.
Everybody's fine. So we're pivoting. We're hard pivoting to just talk about exclusivity for this episode as a general topic and a general idea. And with that being said, would you like to kind of give your thoughts on the concept of gaming exclusivity and
all right.
platform?
Let me just get in here with my fanboyism of Xbox and Microsoft.
Yeah, you are.
Listen, I haven't played PlayStation since PlayStation 2. Right? I'm an Xbox guy through and through, but I'm a PC guy now too.
You've had every Xbox?
Or yes, did you have except the original. I never had the original, but I played it. But I've been an Xbox guy since after PlayStation 2. But with that in mind, ever since the get-go, I thought that exclusives, dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Absolutely so dumb. All right, so it was cool in like the 360 PS3 era. I was like, all right, cool. Gives me a reason to buy these consoles. Because back then, games were coming out all the time. You know, things weren't based on graphical upgrades and all that. No one cared. You were there to have fun. There was different ideas and different platforms had different cool game concepts. Whatever. Cool. Whatever. Back then, it was fun.
Yeah.
You know what it is now? It's just like, hey, we dropped 3 games at the most, maybe within a 3-year span. You get like 1 game every year, and then most of the time it's either live service Halo game that died within 2 months, or you get
you ever go back?
Sometimes I dabble, but like it's and then or you get your other side with PlayStation where it's my movie look-alike walkthrough, no gameplay, as that's like what both of the fanboys say on each side.
Yeah, here I am. I like them all.
I don't care. I since I haven't played the PlayStation ones, I have no argument there. But I think that it's dumb. I think that PlayStation players should be able to play Xbox games. Xbox gamers should be able to play PlayStation games. PC should be able to play all of them. I get that the idea is to sell your console, right? Like,
right.
Buy our console. Our console has these games.
But that's going to be a talking point because that was a talking point during that thing today.
But without even knowing what they said or what your idea is,
yeah,
I don't know. You get the console that your friends have. That's what you do most of the time. Or which the way the game, like the console is set up with like its aesthetic and the way that like the
like
UI
its user interface. Yeah,
I was gonna say like that type of stuff is what's gonna sell you, in my opinion. At least it did for me, and like all that jazz over a game or an exclusive game that doesn't really matter half the time. Because like especially in today's like society. We're not in the 360 PS3 era where it stays exclusive. We're in the era where even PlayStation and Xbox, both of them, they put their games on PC.
Yeah.
And like, what's the point anymore? You can just... that's my general thought.
So, okay, yeah, I like where you're going with that, and I kind of understand your perspective. We haven't really talked about this beforehand, and we talk about games a lot, right? We talk about games a good bit, but more so what we're playing, what we're into. But one thing I don't talk about so much is that, I'm a mailman, so I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of them are game podcasts.
Yeah,
I like whether it's game news or whatever. I'm pretty in the loop of shit I really don't always care about, like straight up. Like I mean, I've listened to dedicated PlayStation, dedicated Xbox.
Yeah.
There's not really any dedicated Nintendo podcasts out there.
They're kind of just in their own world, just doing their own thing, which is, in my opinion, should be every console community.
Yeah,
because I see all my things from Twitter. I'm sorry.
X, yeah.
But in my opinion, it makes me cringe. I open up Twitter and then like people I don't even follow from both sides will have like the biggest
dumb take
of all time.
Yep.
Like, did you see me? PlayStation fans are just like, Alloy from Horizon has peach fuzz.
Oh my god, there's so much. And I will say this.
That stuff's stupid, dude.
It's been so interesting. Fanboyism is a mental illness.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's so funny when they do, like, sometimes they do implode upon themselves, right? So, like, PlayStation Studios woke. That's the big thing. Like, Aloy or, like, Ellie
Abby.
being... Abby existing, being muscular, Ellie being a lesbian. All of these things or Kratos being sensitive.
I didn't know that one was a thing that people
It's
talked
not
about.
as big of a thing because
the other ones I've heard.
That one's fairly earned, but it's there. And
I have heard people talk about Kratos being different though in the newer games, not being as edgy and like
But having only played God of War 3, I don't miss it. This new one is definitely the only one worth listening to. But all of that being said, you've got that on one side, and then on the Xbox side, it's like the first time they hear something's wrong, it's like so hard coping, and it's like, well, maybe it won't be that bad. Maybe it won't be that bad.
Give Halo a few more years, and we'll be up there.
Yeah.
Gears of War, what's that? It's coming, dude.
Yeah, literally that game's not coming, and then this, like, however long, and then actually last year and this year, I feel like Xbox is in a good place.
Game Pass has saved them.
Oh yeah,
Game Pass has saved
some
them
of those
by
Game Pass
far.
games were great.
I mean, let's be real. There's filler on there. There's a lot of people.
There is quantity over quality for sure.
Yeah.
But some of the big day one ones have been really good.
Yeah, exactly. It's just funny because I do see the argument again of like, Xbox Game Pass is just indie fillers, but like they got good stuff on there too. Like it's not. I don't know. I like Game Pass a lot, and I have the Ultimate one, so I can play the PC stuff too.
Have you? Yeah.
So,
there's still games that have come to Game Pass that like I've told myself I shouldn't buy the game because it's on Game Pass, which is actually, I don't know if you'd consider that part of the problem because they're games I was excited for. It's just that I was like, oh, it's coming to Game Pass, so I don't need to buy it.
Yep.
But then it's like, I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to play the game either. So it's like, I never bought it. It's not in my library, but I haven't played it. So I need to make sure I play it before it leaves Game Pass.
Well, since we're talking like Xbox right now, what do you feel about the people that say like, Game Pass is ruining gaming as far as like, I don't know. I've heard people talk about it being like not good for developers and like.
I mean, I think that is a non-issue.
Because I imagine they still get a lot of money from the subscription service and like putting their game on there. They probably get a cut.
So from everything I've heard, there's two major ways that they can do it.
Okay.
And I don't know that it's necessarily a choice. I think it's more of a, it's just depending on the situation and the developer is what the offer is. You can either get a lump sum, just a straight up like, hey, for $3 million, we'll put your game on Game Pass for 6 months or, a year. Something, right? And it comes out day one when your game launches, right? And maybe even exclusive to Xbox in that period, right? Or the alternative would be, with those same type of stipulations, the exclusivity, day one, all that stuff. The alternative would be, however, it's based off of downloads.
Ah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that one is more of a bet on, like, if you get the lump sum, you get the guaranteed rate. But if you're taking the bet on however many downloads, how popular your game will be, you have the higher window or higher ceiling for how much money you could make off Game Pass.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how I've understood it. I don't know what gets offered
the exact,
what.
Yeah.
I remember when like all the court stuff leaked, there was stuff about how much they thought games would cost, like if they were to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Baldur's Gate 3 was like really like $5 million.
That's crazy.
Like really cheap. And then like it still didn't come to the platform for like
it just came out.
Yeah,
like
it was like 3
ago.
months late on Xbox, and they could have had it day one probably exclusive. And that was because nobody knew for sure it was going to be good, and then it came out and it blew up.
And then
now if they tried to get that, like if the game came out in, I don't remember if it was September.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was September. Yeah, because it was right before Starfield, I believe. And then the PlayStation version came right after Starfield, because it came out like a month later or something like that. And I was like, if Xbox were even to try to get a Game Pass deal now, like for whenever it does launch on Xbox, because it got delayed because it didn't work on Series S, it would cost so much more money than whatever the initial
because
deal
the popularity of it.
Oh my god!
Well, I mean, since we're talking
they had
Game Pass now,
they had leverage.
I mean, didn't they announce how much Didn't you say they announced how much subscribers they have now?
So I don't remember when the last time they announced it was, but as of now, they kind of threw in that it was 34 million.
That's kind of nuts.
Game Pass. Oh, I should know this. Numbers. I should have known it in advance for this, I should say. Oh. Game Pass numbers.
I thought you already knew it.
Well, that doesn't tell me nothing. Well, one says 25 million as of some point in 2023. But so that's a good bit of growth, I guess.
Yeah.
If that's an accurate number of, I don't know when in 2023 that was, but you got to imagine a big part of that would be Starfield, Call of Duty Activision stuff getting bought, all that. So like that makes sense.
And all the employees getting laid off.
R.I.P.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Well, they did it last year, too.
Didn't Riot do it, too? Didn't Riot Games
but
also?
I think Riot didn't get clowned on as much because their severance was like, hey, we'll pay you for 6 months of work.
Oh, okay.
And you still get, like, your benefits or something.
I just knew, like, everyone was starting to lay off people. I'm like, what is going on around here?
Well,
but I guess we're leaving the era of COVID where people were gaming as much.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's still tons of games, don't get me wrong. But I feel like, COVID era, there was so much more, like, player base in all these games and consoles and stuff like that and hardware. And I feel like now that that's gone down and everyone's going back to their boring, depressing lives, I feel like they're like, oh, we don't need you guys anymore. Skedaddle.
Yeah, I think
which kind of sucks, man. Sucks for all the people who lost their jobs.
Well, I think the issue in the era of a lot of people or a lot of companies was that like more money's going in because everybody's at home.
Yeah.
And they get their stimulus checks, all this and that. And they're more frugal with this extra money in their home to spend it and do it. And they're like, "Oh man, this is great stuff. We're going to hire and bulk up for this. This is great."
Yeah.
We'll work from home, whatever. And then now it's like everything's went back to normal, which is still, I think, good.
Yeah, it's still good. Yeah, absolutely.
But, now we're kind of in like, on top of everything going back to normal as far as like players go. We're kind of in like the Great Depression too right now. We're like getting there. We're kind of, I don't know if we're in a recession. I don't know if that's fair to say, but
we're going somewhere and it's not good.
Financial situations are not good.
Absolutely not.
Takes
like 4 people or 3 people just to fucking live.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. That's just where we are.
So, actually, and that was one of the points they talked about in the thing, because I listened to about half of it. The first half where they covered a lot of the information, and for Xbox they talked about how the layoffs, this year, and because they laid off last year too.
Okay.
And they laid off more this year. But this one was mostly impacting like Activision.
Yeah,
stuff.
this was Activision Blizzard stuff. Yeah.
Which, and the goal was, they said, to maintain a healthy projection for Xbox growth.
Okay.
Which, in their eyes, is a good thing. But in the end, I'm like, well, there's 1,900 people that are never going to buy anything from Xbox again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I think it's so interesting how every company was like, yeah, balloon.
I was gonna say that's why to me
pop.
I was thinking more of it's because we're out of COVID. Or no one's at home staying in a room 24/7 anymore.
Yep.
Well, you still have people like you who do.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing, man.
The Cartman, not Cartman, but the South Park meme.
South Park meme.
Yeah, that's you.
Funny enough, when I was doing Twitter research for this, there was a lot of those memes getting thrown around by the PlayStation people. Because everybody's like, oh yeah, they're coming to they're coming to PC, baby, I'll get to play it. And then there's just
everyone's just PC gamers.
There's the guy with the blue toboggan, profile picture, posting that. I was like, oh man,
the blue toboggan.
It makes me so uncomfortable.
Oh my god, Twitter users, I can't believe it. And it's just so funny because I'll be scrolling and I'm just like, I don't even want to look at their profile, and I'll click on it. And I'm like, they're like, Xbox or PlayStation for the win. Other side sucks. They wish they were as good as us. I can't believe it. I can't believe that people actually spend their days.
Yeah, I
can't believe it. I don't remember what his name was. Listen, I'm going off topic, but I don't remember what his name was, so this is probably an irrelevant conversation. But 2 or 3 years ago, he used to be all over the face of PlayStation. He was a big PlayStation fanboy. And he was like a dentist or a doctor. I think he was a doctor, I think is what it was. And they actually figured it out he was a doctor, and they got him fired. I'm pretty sure. But all he did in his free time was just
PlayStation, huh?
Just hated on Xbox games. And I'm pretty sure that was the story. I just remember him being on my feed all the time. I'm like, what?
That's so funny. You know the Pyo guy? If I say that, Pyo.
Oh, I think so.
The guy who eats the boxes.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh man, he's comical.
Well, we've talked a lot of Xbox. Let's go to the PlayStation side. I was gonna say, I was just gonna say that the one thing that I do know that PlayStation's cooking up is trying to ease up on the exclusivities themselves, actually,
right.
Which is wild, because they have always been very hey, you want to play our games? Get our console.
Which, if they would have stayed true to that, I think the PS5 is selling, they said, just as well as the PS4 was.
That's fair.
Which I'm pretty sure the PS4 sold really good. So, on that end, it's awesome. But it's if they stick to just hey, you have to have the console to play our games.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now it'd be doing better.
Probably.
But I think they wouldn't. I think having the availability to buy it on
other platforms,
PC.
I feel like it makes them more money.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing with Xbox. I think, and I guess we could talk about the 4 games from Xbox because
they're coming to PlayStation.
Yeah, so
listen, before we talk about what's actually coming, I just love a day or 2 days prior before this came out, it was just. Xbox is over. Goodbye, folks. You lost the battle, but it was a good one.
We are so back.
I remember scrolling through TikTok or whatever. I saw a video.
Did you get a lot of stuff on TikTok? Because I did not get anything.
I got a few things, and one of the ones was it was an anime protagonist standing over all beat up, and he's like, "It was a good one. You fought well." And then on the ground it's just a dead guy, and it's Xbox.
See, man,
I'm just what is happening?
I knew in my heart that it wasn't going to be as bad as everybody said.
No. Well, like I said, there was the rumors of exclusives coming to PlayStation and stuff like that, which I can't say PC because they have already been coming to PC. But there was they were talking PlayStation and Switch. Mostly PlayStation was going to be getting these exclusives.
You know what the funny thing about that is? What? If you want to be technical, the PC, as an entirety, gets more Xbox exclusives than the Xbox console does. Because there's games like Microsoft Flight Sim.
Okay.
That was on PC first. It was exclusive
to
PC.
it came first?
Yeah, it was on for a whole year, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's wild.
And same with You know, they had what is it, Age of Empires or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those were PC first, and then they've got the control scheme down for console.
It's weird because like that's a weird thing, but also like Microsoft makes computers.
Well, yeah,
like
every version of Windows,
yeah,
they get a rip.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like with PC and Xbox, it makes sense because Microsoft kind of owns both of those worlds, and like it makes sense for them to cross over so well. And it's kind of wild that it took this long for them to do that, in my opinion. But
then it gets into, okay, on PC, they've basically committed to keeping their games on Steam. Because for a while it was just Windows, like the Windows Store, which is the equivalent to the Xbox Game Pass app now as well.
Yeah.
But when you buy something from the Game Pass or the Xbox app, they get 100% of that.
Yeah.
But if you buy Steam, you get a cut.
Yeah, they get a cut.
They only get 70% because Steam takes a hefty 30%.
Yeah.
And then you get into, well, they don't put their games on the Epic Game Store, but Epic Game Store only takes like 20%. Like,
that is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But Steam's just more popular.
Steam
Steam
is where the numbers are. I
say.
understand that. Yeah, I'm not saying that they would make a big amount of money, but I mean, I don't know why they don't put it on Epic unless they have some kind of clause with Steam.
Steam.
Because they're such a big
competitor.
Steam
and Epic, yeah. No, I just
but that's not
funny.
something, to my knowledge, that's ever been disclosed.
Yeah, it's never been publicly known anyway.
Yeah.
I just find it funny though, because like I said, these memes and like, oh my god, Xbox is done for dinner, dude. You know, Xbox 360, go to Xbox One, Xbox Series, whatever. What's next? More like dead. It's like they were doing like the Xbox later. So it's funny to me because they were always talking about Halo, Gears, Forza. Forza. All these games that are like the big exclusives for Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grounded is and stuff like, that we haven't really talked about the four that are coming, but Grounded is one of them. Sure, it's.
Have you played Grounded yet?
A little bit, not a lot. I did it, but like,
I want to play
when
it
first
with you.
came out.
I want to do like an us thing. Yeah,
I'd be down.
Like a this.
But yeah, I'm done.
Yeah,
but it's funny because of the fact that so many people are talking about these huge exclusives that's been on Xbox and been with Xbox as an exclusive since like day one.
Yeah.
Gears, Halo, all that stuff. And then it comes out and it's like only 4 games, and it's 4 games that are like just newly relevant, and they're not like with the Xbox brand. Like when you think of exclusive for Xbox, you're not thinking the 4 that are coming out to like the PlayStation.
No, I mean,
at least they're not the big ones anyway. Like Hi-Fi Rush is okay. Here's the 4: Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
You got Grounded.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 were
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, yeah.
Yeah, and Pentiment.
Yep.
Pentiment. I mean, that's just gonna get them an extra like $3,000. That ain't gonna do much.
I've never even heard of that game.
I own it. I bought it like, so the Steam Deck by default like doesn't have, you can't like get other apps outside of like Steam. On it.
You have to like jailbreak it or something.
Well, I mean, not so much that. It's open to where you can just install Windows, but I didn't want to go through the effort, so I just play it like through the Steam OS. It's very solid, makes it feel like a console in my hands, right?
Okay.
Like I love the UI, it's great. I just didn't want to mess with that. And Windows comes with its own batch of issues. So I was like, I don't need to do that. So I don't play Game Pass on my Steam Deck, and also I'm pretty sure you need a constant internet connection, which kind of ruins the point of handheld in my opinion. So yeah, I just don't even mess with that. Any games I can download and play on the go, that sounds good to me. But when Pentiment came out, I was so interested in it that I did buy it. It was only $20. It was a $20 game. It wasn't like even 30 or 40, which I believe Sea of Thieves, Grounded, and Hi-Fi Rush are all in that 30 to 40 range now.
Hi-Fi was 60 when it came out.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure. Then again, Hi-Fi Rush was like a Game Pass game.
Sea of Thieves was, though, wasn't it? Yes. Well, when it came out.
Yes. I bought that game for $60.
Yeah.
A week later, Game Pass launches. And it's on Game Pass, and I'm like, there's no way, dude.
Have you had Game Pass since it came out?
Yeah. Ever since it came out.
You're a real one, man.
Yeah. Like I say, I got it day one, basically, because I thought it was such a cool idea. Like, all these streaming services for movies and shows.
Yeah, I mean, it really was.
I was like, what a cool idea to bring that to the gaming atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And and plus I have the Ultimate version, so again, like I can play on PC, but it also comes with gold. So like
Right.
I get to play online with it, and it's like what, $20 a month or something for me. And
I
like,
think
it's a banger deal.
I think consoles need to abolish paying for multiplayer.
Yeah, paying for multiplayer, absolutely, because you don't on Steam. You just get the
No.
fucking game and you play.
You don't
Yeah.
anywhere but those 3 consoles.
Yeah, I don't know why, and it's weird because PlayStation didn't do it in the PS3 era. It was free.
Yeah, it wasn't until they actually like solidified the PSN, right?
Yep. I'm pretty sure PS4 is when they started paying for stuff like money, and people got mad about that. But
I don't know. I mean, I'm not. That's like right around my era. Like the
right when you
switch
started
to
gaming,
PS4 and Xbox One was when I was like truly
a gamer
in there. Like, I mean, I had a 360. That was my first console, but like, I didn't have internet.
I'm so old, dude. My first console was a GameCube.
I mean, my first one was technically a Wii. So,
what a banger system.
Say what you will. I mean, yeah, the Wii was great.
No, it's funny because we always talk about Xbox and PlayStation, and that's what the news is today because of all the stuff that's been going on. But like I said, exclusivity even goes to Nintendo. You know, you're never going to see a Mario game or a Pokemon game or anything like that ever come to any other platform. It's never going to happen.
You know what I say to that? I say we'll see how Switch 2 does.
Yeah, they did kind of say, isn't that rumored that we're getting another Switch soon?
It's supposed to be this year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Is it going to be like the OLED one where it's like it's a little tiny bit bigger?
That would suck. But it's time, in my opinion. Because, I mean, the Switch launched 2017. So it's been 7 years.
And even back then, that was still behind the technology.
I mean, I think of the Switch as either comparable or slightly better than an Xbox 360.
That's wild. Don't let any Nintendo fans hear you say that. The Switch is great.
It's just true because you can play I played Skyrim on it. It may have ran slightly better, probably fairly similar resolution, than my 360 version. And it was 2017. This is literally a year after Skyrim Special Edition comes out. This is not the Special Edition version.
Yeah.
This is just Skyrim Switch. This is not Skyrim Special Edition. There's no God rays.
Yeah,
there's
just
no
your default
overhaul lighting.
Vanilla.
It's the 360 version, maybe with some slight graphical improvements. I won't say that I played the two back to back, but yeah, no, the Switch isn't. I mean, there's been like games like Mario and like all of those Nintendo first party games that like thrive, like the visual
they look
style,
great on there.
Like Zelda. I don't know how that happened.
It looked good. Like I said, all the Nintendo exclusives look great on that game.
They know what they're doing.
They run great, yeah. But if it's not for their software, you're not playing that game.
Yeah.
Like, tell me you played Mortal Kombat 1 on that.
I almost bought The Witcher 3 because I was so
interested
shocked.
just to see what it would be like.
Yes, because that wasn't a 360 game being ported. That was, at the time, a current gen. Or, I think current gen.
Or newer gen anyway, Xbox One, PS4.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, I was like, damn. I mean, like, maybe the Switch has got more juice than I thought, but then I saw how it looked. I was like, I bet that an Xbox 360 could probably do that. But yeah, no, the rumor is this year. The big question is backwards compatibility or not. Like, does it run Switch games?
Switch games, gotcha.
And
that'd be cracked if it didn't. That'd be insane.
I would not get it.
Absolutely not.
It would have to. They would have to say. Metroid Prime 4 is a launch title for the Nintendo Super Switch. That'd be the only way.
It's been since 2004, but Star Fox Adventures 2 is back.
Ain't nobody playing that shit.
It's okay, because Star Fox Adventures is seen as like a terrible game, but that game's the GOAT. The GOAT!
The GOAT.
You want to talk about exclusivity? That's the best exclusive game any console has ever had.
Speaking of PC Master Race for a second, I don't mean it like in a snobby way. I mean I'm a
PC gamer now, so you can't tell.
No, I'm not even saying. I'm just saying it's like we talked about how they get Xbox games already, and they're gonna hopefully get PlayStation games a lot sooner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I saw this meme where it's like PC really is the best platform. It was like Xbox games day one, PlayStation games coming soon. Coming soon. And then it says Nintendo games. And it just had Nintendo, and it was all check marks, and it had Nintendo games check marks because everybody emulates
it.
Nintendo
Yep,
shit.
emulate. I actually installed
Don't know.
Don't come at me. I installed the GBA for like Game Boy games.
Allegedly, you did that.
I've allegedly did that, and I think there was.
You're like that kid.
I think
from
there
that
was.
meme.
I think there was something of like Dolphin.
I accidentally clicked on it.
Dolphin
and
emulator.
downloaded.
Yeah, Dolphin emulator may have been added to the PC. I was just browsing one day and I typed in dolphins and looking at images, and then like this weird thing came up, and I'm like, what is this? And I clicked on it, and it brought me to like this site, and it had a big download button.
Nah.
You know those things that like you look at and you're like, oh, this is gonna give me a virus. I clicked it, and then I opened it up, and
my pants started slipping.
what?
Remember that video?
Well, no.
Remember that kid?
What? Nah, don't explain yourself.
This mom.
Nah, don't explain yourself.
It's not a video. You just hear the sound. It's the mom finds this kid who was watching videos.
Oh, videos.
Doing something. And he sounds kind of young, actually. And she's, what are you doing? You know, all this and that. And then he's like, well, I was looking on the internet and I accidentally clicked on this video and I went to get up to turn it off and my pants, they started slipping and they fell down. Oh, I love it.
There ain't
And then
no
she goes, are you serious? She goes, you don't think I believe that? He's like, I'm telling the truth. I was like, oh, man.
I've never seen that video in my life, so he's just telling me his life story. He just told me his whole lore background. I've heard some other lore backgrounds from you, so.
I'm like the
VCR.
I'm like the dad lore drops.
The VCR, dude.
All right, man.
No, we're not talking about that.
Let's wrap it up. Okay, so consulting notes. Make sure we've covered what we need to cover. Okay. Nothing really crazy else new from Xbox. 4 games are coming. No promises for future games coming. So don't jump ship from Xbox. Also, they plan on making a new console, which who would have thought?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
People really said, Microsoft ain't gonna make another Xbox. They're gonna give all their games to PlayStation.
Right, PlayStation. You know, I think they're doing all right. You know.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see more of their games. They're remastering Until Dawn for PS5 and putting it on
dope.
PC.
That sounds dope. Yeah, that sounds dope.
Which means I can finally make my retrospective because I'll be able to record it on a modern platform.
And we're getting remastered Last of Us Part 3.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Okay. I know what you're going to say. But when The Last of Us Part 3 comes out, I really hope that PlayStation has truly committed to PC day one. Because I don't want to buy a PlayStation for it. But I will be there day one no matter what.
There's no point in buying it. A year later, they'll remaster it.
I don't care about that, Draven. I was there day one for The Last of Us Part 2. I was not there day one for The Last of Us.
Neil Kookman, he was out there repping that fucking good old hammer, that iconic hammer.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Listen, PlayStation's fine, but I hate that motherfucker. He's such a dude.
Have you seen the videos where he's on the red carpet?
Yeah, no one cares. No one cares.
I don't, and it's so awkward that like it has to be edited some way. Like there has to be like something taken out of it. Some people were saying that there was no camera flashes. There were camera flashes.
Yeah,
I will say that. So it wasn't that bad, but it's like, come on.
Nah, nothing against the guy, but he just seems like scummy. He seems kind of scummy as far as like.
Well, there's some deep lore there. I mean, there's stuff to get into.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I listen to all console platform
stuff
podcast, and
he's just like one of the ones that I've seen a lot of people talk about because again, Last of Us being as big as it is. So like I hear a lot about him and like especially around the time when he won Game of the Year and all that. Like that stuff, like that era, a lot of people were talking about the way he acts and stuff and like what he does.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I was like, he seems kind of scummy.
I've seen, I mean, like all of like his way to the top of Naughty Dog seems like, man, there's some, but like undeniably the games he's made have been great. So I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, it's one of those classic, like creators versus art. You got to separate them.
Yeah, me with the. Never mind.
What?
Nothing.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
No, let's hear it. You with what?
Well, the new Kanye album just came out.
Oh my god! No, you shouldn't have said it.
And it's like Vulture's review. Here we go. It's like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. It's not that great. It's not terrible. The features, lackluster.
I heard that he dropped the Super Bowl winner's name in there. It took him a minute.
Yeah. I was like, hang on, what, the Kansas City? No, I see what you're saying.
Whoa, the Swiftie!
Yeah.
What a
Actually,
banger.
It's a joint album with Ty Dolla $ign.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know Ty Dolla $ign?
Who?
Ty Dolla $ign.
Dude, I don't listen to rap. I'm not.
I don't listen. I didn't know really Ty Dolla $ign before this, but let me tell you, one of my favorite lines from this album. I'm gonna say it. She Russian. I beat up that pussy for Ukraine.
Thank you. Who's the one rapper that went on stream with like that Jack guy or whatever his name is and like got paid $2 million?
Oh.
And he showed up and he was just standing there. He's like, yeah.
Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
Was on Aiden Ross's.
Yeah. That's what it was. Aiden Ross. Yeah.
Which Aiden seems. I don't watch streamers, but Aiden seems like a bit of an idiot.
All I saw was that video. I don't know either of them really. He showed up in like a gimp suit and he's like,
from
next album, baby. He goes, how was the Grammys?
Oh my god! From everything I can tell, like I'm not really exposed to. Like he's on this album too. Actually, he is. Man, not good. I'm not a fan of him.
I don't know anything about him.
He either said
my bro literally walked into that man's fucking dark, dank, like sketchy horror / scene, and he walked in with his gimp suit and said, "Thanks for being a fan." And then it was awkward for 2 minutes.
Apparently, it was his people that set it up.
Was it?
Yeah. If you watch the same video I did, what it was the Aiden guy flew out to his location.
No, it was the other way around.
Well, yes, okay.
Because
it was his plane. I understand. Yeah.
Because he came out to that place, the rapper guy. He came out there because he got paid $2 million to show up and like be on a stream with him. And he literally was there for 2 minutes of awkward silence. Took $2 million and left.
Not good.
Like, dude.
Yeah.
Most of the population, 9 to 5s, wanting to die. This guy. Hey. Thanks.
Man, imagine if like you got 10% of that. 10% of that, dude.
I can't believe it.
How much money?
I can't.
How far are you? How do you report that on taxes? Yeah, I got $2 million. What'd you get it for? I just kind of picked it up.
Just kind of walked out with it in a duffel bag.
Yeah, you'd be better off saying it was from fraud. Jesus. You basically had theft.
The only reason they would believe him is just because it was caught on stream.
Yeah.
That is the only reason.
Yeah.
Because, who else just gets $2 million? This has nothing to do with it.
If I had $2 million...
if he had $2 million, he would.
Everything would be different.
If he had $2 million, would you keep pushing, or would you push away from exclusives? That's the real question.
I would just get a really beefed out PC that's going to last forever, or keep upgrading my PC, and buy every game that comes to the platform, and then maybe complimentary on the side, have whatever Nintendo platform.
There you go.
Because they ain't coming unless they fuck up the Switch 2.
So it seems like we're both in an agreement that exclusives are done.
One thing I will say, and I'm surprised this hasn't happened yet. So, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Ubisoft. Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah.
Low-key surprised those haven't came to other platforms. Actually.
Yeah, but the only reason it's not is because Mario's involved.
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah.
I do understand that. But if there's ever a chance of something, I think that's it. Because apparently the first one's great. The second one's really good, but it didn't sell well. So it's like, if they want to get some money, maybe. So I'm just saying, maybe if that ever is, the kind of mindset they adopt of, hey, let's get some second, money later on.
Yeah. It's so weird that we're here talking about, exclusive and stuff, and, the gaming space is talking about exclusives and stuff. Because if you just look back to, maybe even, 6-7 years ago,
yeah,
no one would have ever thought that this would be even a topic to talk about. Everything was just their own console.
Yeah, and you had your own stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there was never like, everyone would always, like, be like, hey, you want to play some, 2016, bro? Want to play some Overwatch?
Oh. Ooh.
And you can still play with each other, I guess. That's not a good example. Could you? No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, 2016. You're right. You couldn't. So, like, you want to play
that in my opinion was the first barrier. Crossplay.
My first it was 2016 is probably the first barrier for me because Overwatch eventually became crossplay. But I know, but crossplay again kind of counters the exclusivity stuff. It's like, all right, we're gonna work together and, like, let our players play with each other.
Thanks, Fortnite.
Yes, Fortnite was the biggest one for that. But
well, yeah,
I my first experience, I'm a Dead Rising fanboy. So if anyone, what the fuck you mean, ooh?
I'm just
first
kidding.
of all,
I don't care.
First of all, you're playing them with me.
Mm-hmm.
We are going through them, and you are going to experience how banger the first two are.
I know.
So, the first two games got you 10 out of 10. You're not beating those games. Top tier list.
Yeah.
3 came out. It was 8. 4 came out. It was 8. But 4 killed the series. However, Dead Rising has always been an Xbox exclusive. 1 through 4. All of them.
Okay.
Dead Rising 4, though, for how poor it sold and how bad it did, actually went to PlayStation 4. Like, a year later. If even that. So, like, that was one of the, like, first experiences I had with seeing a game that was exclusive actually go on to another platform.
Dead Rising 5 comes out. You think it's on both platforms?
Yes. But also, Capcom now kind of just does everything.
Yeah.
But also, it's gonna be it's gonna be a Dead Rising 1 remake. It ain't gonna be a Dead Rising 5.
That's fair. I could see it.
But what would you say your first experience of an exclusive going somewhere? Do you have any, like, personal attachments of seeing, like, a game that you played or you liked go into a different thing?
No, closest, not really. I mean, now it's like, who knows what? I don't know. I'm just not really deeply connected to any franchises that were ever exclusive. I mean, the closest thing I can think of is, like, games that were on PC just because the developer only made it for PC at first.
And then
eventually making it to console.
Yeah.
But that's not really the same thing because it's not like, hey, we got to deal with Steam.
Yeah.
It's just, hey,
they didn't make
this is an early access game. It's not finished yet.
Yeah.
We're going to finish it through development, with, community feedback and everything. And then once it's 1.0, it can hit on other platforms. Because I know for a while, I think it was Xbox or PlayStation. I think it was Xbox. They didn't allow early access for the longest time. And then they got the game preview, like tag, and then you could.
Okay.
I think that's right. It might be the other way around, but I think that's right. And then, like, well, maybe it was PlayStation. I don't remember. Maybe both of them. Maybe both of them were like that. I don't really think of a lot of early access games on PlayStation. But, like, with Xbox, you've got the game preview tag, like I said. There's Pal World, there's Slime Rancher 2, any survival game, probably.
Yeah, all those games always come out like that.
And with that, with that being said, I just like games. Games are cool.
Yeah.
You like games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think we're going to hit an era where I honestly don't think exclusives will ever end. I don't think, especially with Nintendo being in the market, I don't think they're ever going to sway away from the old style of marketing for their consoles.
That's fair.
But I do think with how where we started from like 10 years ago to where we are now,
we started from the bottom.
We literally couldn't even play with your friends on a different platform on like an online game. Like you would have an online, like Call of Duty or something. You have Call of Duty, Halo, not really, but Call of Duty was on everything. You get Call of Duty, you want to play with your buddies. I'm on PlayStation. Well, sucks to suck. Can't play with each other.
You gotta go over there now.
Yeah. So like we've come a long way with being able to play with each other on multiplayer games, and then we've come to the point where these story games even are going to the other side, and especially with today's news of Xbox putting these things on
even
there.
Even the ideas of like cross progression, like if you own the game on 2 different platforms.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to start over.
You can a lot of times it requires you creating an account of like a Blizzard account, having a Ubisoft
Embark account, or
that's a good example. And you sign into that on both platforms, and then they share
Yep.
Which actually, a lot of times, if you notice, any games that have crossplay, that's how it has to work too. Because all of that interaction can't just be, oh, I'm on the Xbox comms.
Yeah.
I'm on the Embark comms, for the finals or whatever. Like, that's how you have to do it. So, and that's how you can have their own friends lists and everything. And all that's, and it's cool.
Yeah,
all that stuff's cool.
It's a great idea, and I'm glad that we've went the way we've went. And like I said, with Nintendo especially, but I do think PlayStation is a little more strict with their exclusives. I think, honestly, with the announcement of them being like, hey, we want to put stuff on PC kind of sooner, that's kind of a big deal because PlayStation always seemed like they just never wanted to go that way.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're starting to ease up, especially with the success of Xbox's games.
I mean,
like don't get me wrong, Xbox's exclusives are kind of lagging, like
a
lot recently. But I do think it's helped them in the long run with Game Pass because Sony never really wanted to even partake in Game Pass stuff. They thought that
the subscription style.
They thought that idea was dumb, but here we are. They have their own type that no one ever talks about, but I know they have their own type.
I knew it was here to stick when, like you said, when other companies outside of Xbox started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's the Ubisoft Plus or whatever it is. I mean,
I can't wait for Ubisoft's quadruple A game.
Oh man,
yeah, Skull and Bones.
Say what you will.
The first quadruple A game, dude, by Ubisoft of all developers.
I want to play at the Avatar game.
Yeah,
it came out in December. Is
that a Ubisoft game?
Yeah, it's by the people that did Division.
Nice.
Yeah,
I just know Ubisoft is known for empty worlds and stuff like that.
It looks so pretty though. It looks so pretty. But it's like if the Division people made an Avatar that's like Far Cry, but like it's not the Far Cry people, so it's their own like twist.
Yeah, their own idea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like the same similar concept of like you can clear out these outposts, but like it sounds so cool because it's like we need to do Avatar at some point. There's only 2 movies.
Because
for now, well, we gotta hop on it while we can, because with Avatar, it's like a big part of it's like these humans come to this alien planet, and they mine resources and they basically corrupt the planet, and then like they make it start to die or whatever. They kill the planet and they strip it of its resources. Well, you take out these these pollution centers and all these different things like that, and then the land around it is barren and it starts to heal again. Mm-hmm. Which you've seen like the flora and fauna of Avatar. It's so vibrant, right?
Yeah.
So it's like such a huge contrast. I'm really excited to play that. I really am.
All right.
That and Banishers, I'm really excited for. So
my only thing though that I don't like about exclusives, just randomly back into the exclusive topics.
Both of those not exclusive games for any platform.
Yeah.
Never were. So if that tells you where I'm at, I don't really care.
I mean, most of the games I play are always cross-play anyway. Not cross-play, but cross-platform. They're like on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like multi-platform games are usually what I'm into most of the time. Like a big zombie guy and all that. Like Dead Rising, Left 4 Dead. Well, Left 4 Dead's on Xbox, PC, whatever. Yeah. Like Resident Evil's on everything. Nier series is on everything. Like all my favorite games are on basically everything.
Yeah.
So I never really had a arm or a leg involved in here. I have my, I'm an Xbox guy, so I love Gears. I love Halo.
You like
the old
Xbox?
Ones. I like a lot of their exclusives when they used to be really good. Like I said, they're kind of lagging now. But honestly, I think exclusives in general, even on PlayStation, is kind of in this gen kind of lackey. I don't think there's much there compared to like last gen. In my opinion,
there's been I would say PlayStation had a drought. Xbox had a quality problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you continue.
But the biggest exclusive relation thing that I think needs to completely go forever, in my opinion, is timed exclusives. I will never, ever think that is... Nah, that's dumb. Not
but I'd rather have a timed exclusive than a full-blown, never ever.
Yes. However, since we're not out of the era of exclusives in general, if we're going to have the era of exclusives and timed exclusives, just get rid of timed. Don't get my hopes up. And usually when they say
No. I completely disagree. I would be fine with if, like, PlayStation and Xbox... I mean, there's never going to be a handshaking on this, but it's like... If Xbox was like, hey, you can play our games first and with Game Pass on our platform, or you can wait a year and it'll be on PlayStation.
Nah, I just don't dig with that.
Or with PlayStation, same way around. I mean, they could even say, "Hey, well, it'll be 2 years for us." But they don't want to do that anyway. So
I just don't like that standpoint, because then you have to wait a whole time and you have to see all these leaks and rumors, like, and like all the.
I'm still waiting for Ghost of Tsushima on PC.
Listen, it's never going to go away. I know that, but my thing is that, like,
I think it will.
I would love it, but I feel like that's a little ways down the line.
I say 2027.
2027?
Come back.
All right, timestamp.
Episode 300.
But
PopCorner podcast.
I just think that if we're gonna have exclusives, and like, PlayStation's gonna have their exclusives they keep forever that they never give away, so is Xbox, whatever. Timed exclusives are just so annoying. Like if you're gonna give it to the platforms in general at some point, just give it to them at the beginning. Like, come on.
That's fair.
I understand the decision, right? Like you said.
Yeah.
Come to Game Pass, play it first, and then, or just wait a year, whatever. I get the standpoint on the business aspect of it, but as a consumer, like, if you're going to anyway give it to the platform at some point, day one, just drop it on everything. It's so annoying.
I get it.
Like I said, if we're going to have an era or a lifestyle of exclusives being a thing for full exclusivity, timed exclusives got to go. Especially things, I don't even play COD, but things that are like, you could get this DLC or this cosmetic exclusive on PlayStation a month early.
That's
bullshit. That's stupid.
I think content exclusivity, like, if you're gonna have the game, you need to be able to have the full game.
Yeah.
Like, that, or like Hogwarts exclusive quest.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's dumb. That's actually brain dead.
There was an exclusive quest for PlayStation, for, like, not even on PC. Like, it wasn't like a just Xbox versus. But then now it's like been like a year since the game came out, and they're like, "Hey, by the way, we're gonna release an update," and now everybody has that. But apparently, it's one of the better quests of the game.
See, I don't understand that. That's so stupid.
It's like it's a side quest that, like, it's like how do I want to say it? I think it's like each of the houses, like, have their own, like, personality quest or something like that, like something kind of pertaining to each of the houses. And the one specifically for that one is like the best one of the other three are like lackluster, and that one's like really good, and it's specifically for PlayStation.
That's crazy, man.
Or like maybe not just like that, because I doubt they would be like, here's 3 quests, but you don't get the other one. But maybe something in similar vein. So
yeah, I don't know. I like I said, I'll end it with my last response here is exclusivities. Like, I understand they're important. You know, these companies want to sell their hardware. And, I'm cool with it. I mean, if I want to play a PlayStation game that bad, I'll go get one. Or I'll wait till it comes out on PC, since it seems like we're going into an era.
We need to get you The Last of Us on PC now.
I'd play the first one.
There you go. It's probably one of the best games of all time.
The second one I probably won't play.
It's one of the best playing games of all time.
It probably won't be for me. I'll probably like it, but I don't think it'll be my favorite or anything. I
respect it.
I got 2 high ones, man. Most of my games are niche, though. So... but my final standpoint is exclusives. I understand why they're there for businesses. I would love to see exclusivities just go away in general. I'm not a fanboy. I don't care about the whole console war things. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And if you are a man baby who sits on Twitter all day saying, our game gets 60 FPS and your game gets 59. I can't. I literally can't stand those guys. Or girls, whatever. But...
very rarely. And not even to be sexist. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can't be obnoxious.
They're just usually man babies.
They're just usually man babies.
And come on, man, put them on all the platforms. If not, we'll see.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
we just talked about everything.
Exclusives bad. They're on their way out, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, I think give it a few years. I think Xbox, like, if this goes well, like, if these games do, like, even better. They said they didn't promise any more games, but that doesn't mean they won't do more. You know what I mean?
If I see Halo go over to PlayStation, Xbox is just full sending it. They don't care.
Oh yeah,
Halo's probably their biggest.
Halo or Gears.
As much as I love Gears, I think Halos are probably #1 exclusive. If they take Halo and put it on PlayStation, I think Xbox is full sending on. Hey, we'll put anything on there. Yes. PlayStation, I think, is going to be a harder bargain to get to work with them, because PlayStation, like I said, is more strict with it.
Right.
But going to work with PC is kind of a step in the right direction.
There is a PlayStation game on Xbox.
What is it?
MLB The Show.
Yo, that's cooking.
All because the Major League Baseball wanted their extra money. So they're like, we could put this shit on Game Pass? Hell yeah.
Ain't no shot, dude.
Yeah, so they've done it like the last 3 years in a row.
Like I said, I think PlayStation will be the factor here. If we ever get an era where PlayStation's putting like a single game on Xbox, I think they're all the way. They're leaving entirely. But until I see PlayStation putting exclusive on Xbox, I think they're still going to be here.
And that will be pretty cool.
Woo!
Or not.
I don't know. We'll see.
Let us know what you think down below. Thank you for watching and subscribe to the PopCorner podcast. Goodbye.